I would rule with an iron fist.
Yes.
And like, and these people would know. There would be no calling. Like Toto wouldn't be like, Gary,
please, that's still not right.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, no, it was so right. Welcome back to this week's Motorsport Podcast. I'm Carrie.
And I'm Mike.
And we are here to talk about the Austrian Grand Prix.
At the Red Bull Ring.
My favorite.
You don't like this track, but I think it's a good one.
Sorry, I lied.
Or were you simply thinking it was a different track?
No, absolutely. So I tried to make it like it wasn't about Red Bull.
Yeah.
It was absolutely about Red Bull.
Yeah, okay.
No, I like this track. It's a good track. It's a good race.
Yeah, it always delivers excitement because it's so short and there's so many overtake opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It was a good.
And this race was good. Unless you're a Red Bull fan.
Which I'm not.
So you were real happy.
It wasn't the desired outcome for me. I know there's many misguided Lando fans who are probably quite thrilled.
Yep. Misguided.
Oscar just didn't seem to get there.
No, you can't take anything away from Oscar here. I think he raced extremely well. We saw on the last lap he had Alpine get in his way.
And he had Lando forcing errors. He absolutely did. Rewatch those laps where he's like on his tail and you will see Lando. I'm not saying like he made crazy, but like Lando definitely was getting distracted with how close Oscar was.
Yes.
And he was making mistakes. Like he went off the track a couple of times.
Yeah, he put it into the dirt a couple of times.
Yeah.
I saw that, yeah.
So I'm not saying like...
But he did enough to hold on.
He did, yeah.
Right.
I think because it is a short distance, that played to his favor because there was just so much traffic. Yeah.
And I think that's where I've said it before that Lando's edge on Oscar is his qualifying pace, is his 1 lap pace. He seems to be marginally stronger than Oscar in qualifying.
He's like Charles, right? Like,
yes.
I mean, except for I think Charles is much stronger qualifier.
Yeah, his race
Lando.
pace is always.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to take anything away from Lando.
Yeah, he didn't do anything this weekend that angered you. So
no, not that Well, I mean, he did seem to be getting babysat a lot by his engineer, which
it is odd. You hear them saying, hit the apex at turn 6. And it's like, of course.
So the way that I interpret those messages, it would be like if I got in a Formula One car and they were like trying to tell me how to drive it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that,
odd.
where I'm just like, I don't know if the F1 channel just is also not a Lando fan and they're like, we're going to blast these messages and like everybody else has the same messages, or what the situation is.
Well, I mean, David Coulthard said, he's like, my engineers never told me to do that.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Lando fan.
I don't think so either. But it could be that I mean, obviously he has a good relationship with his engineer. And
no, but it's like, drive the car.
But maybe he knows he needs a little comment like that to refocus and to get back into it, right? Like maybe he sees him overthinking and...
Yeah, he absolutely does.
Doing stuff like that. And a little thing like that can bring him back into where he should be.
I just think
it worked.
Think about those statements to almost any other driver and they'd be like, yeah, leave me to it. Like, could you imagine GP saying that to Max?
No.
Like Max would have some choice words back.
Yeah. Or I'm thinking about someone saying that to Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh my God, I want that to happen. Like if someone can invent a time machine.
Yeah. Just for that.
Just for that moment.
Yeah.
Forget major world events.
Yeah.
I want someone to say that to Kimmy. But yeah, like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Lando. I think he had a good weekend. And you know what? Like,
he was fast this weekend, right? Like the whole weekend.
Yeah. And I think this was kind of a defining weekend for him, because I think had he had a poor performance, it might have been the end of Lando's championship bid.
Yeah. Being more like having more of a,
like on the heels of his Canada wreck.
Yeah.
And then if he, so like,
this was a big one for him.
It really totally
was.
Like, I think he probably spent some time on himself. And was it 2 weeks? Was that last week? I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Yeah. So I mean, good for him. It keeps it up, and I think it's more interesting when it's not just like a runaway.
Yeah. And what I thought was funny is after the race, Lando said he should have Alex do his F1 more regularly, because he set it up really well. Because Alex Dunn, the F2 driver, did his first FP1 session in Lando's car. And then, I mean, obviously he was fastest in every other.
Yeah. You know what I loved was when Kimmy hit Max. It was like, except for Max had like the least Max response ever. I was expecting him to lose his mind, because had it been George, he would have like had a race ban. Like, it would have
been incredible, because it would have been it. So it reminded me of two things. Had it been George, it would have been the scene where Schumacher gets out of his car and runs at him and tries to hit him.
Yeah.
And what it was I saw this meme of, it was in Schumacher's first season where Senna is consoling him after he's crashed. Yeah. And that's what it was like. And it was the so weirdest
thing. Like, he was just like, yeah, these things happen. And I was like,
yeah,
when has Max ever been like, these things happen?
So I think he has a lot of respect for Kimi, and
he
must see a lot of himself in him, because they're the only two drivers that started at 17.
Yeah.
Right. He sees that he is exceptionally talented, but as he said, it's a rookie mistake. Right.
Yeah. Like,
and it absolutely was. He missed his brake point, locked up, and
shot past a bunch of people and
smashed into him. Yeah. I guarantee you, when he was looking at it, as soon as he saw the Mercedes, I bet you he looked back. He's like, is that fucking George? But
you know what? Like, I was confused by was, like, was his car that damaged? I feel like Max was like, I've had enough of this weekend. Like, it's just like, I feel like so had that happened to Hülkenberg, he would have absolutely turned the car back around and kept racing.
Yeah.
But Max was like,
we're done here.
Yeah, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, I'm done here. It was a tough weekend. I was already upset. I started in 7th.
Yeah. So in my head, I was like, has he already like resigned to the fact that he cannot win this championship this year? Like,
well, I mean, that is sparking a lot of rumors.
Because the exit clause, apparently.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I'm reading two different things, where some are saying that if he is below 2nd, others are saying if he's below 4th.
Nobody actually knows.
No one knows.
No one has access to this. I think, so, I mean, the conspiracy theorist part of me was like, is that why he's being nice to Kimi? Because they're going to be teammates next year?
Right.
And he didn't want to hit him.
He's like, it'll be really awkward.
But also, too, like, could you imagine hitting Kimi? It'd be like hitting a puppy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like.
It's like punching an 8-year-old.
Yeah, like, like brown eyes, like curly hair, just being like,
please don't.
You know what he reminds me of? You know the movie Luca?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Luca.
Yeah. It's probably based off of him.
Is he a sea monster?
He might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was a very odd moment.
Yeah. You know what though? The Verstappen fans were loving it.
Yeah.
And the Kimi fans were loving it too.
Well, because they were like, our boy didn't get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't get a punch to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. You brought up Hulkenberg. I want to give him a little bit of a shout out here. I've talked a lot of smack about Hulkenberg.
Did you see this too? No. I screenshotted this. Okay, so speaking of Hulkenberg, not to steal your thunder. So also, this is straight up from Instagram. It could be real. It could be fake. I don't know.
You didn't fact check
I did not fact check it. I thought about doing that and then I forgot. They're saying Red Bull's 3 second drivers since Monza 2024 have scored 20 points. So we've got Checo, Yuke's, obvious, and Liam Lawson.
Yeah.
Hulkenberg has scored 20 points since Monza 2024.
And a Sauber.
Well, no,
I guess
a Haas.
A Haas and a Sauber.
Which is a feat in itself.
Right? He went from 19 to P9.
Oh, did he? I didn't even notice.
That is impressive. Like, I know a bunch of people were out, but still.
Yeah, how many retirements were there? Was it 4 or 5?
Yeah, well, both Williams.
Both Williams. Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was tough to watch.
Like, Carlos's car just got on fire.
Yeah, it's so sad for them because with Carlos joining the team, they have had several really, really strong finishes. Yeah. And it looked like they were really turning a corner on progressing to be, moving away from the bottom end of the field into the mid fleet. And now it's just Albon has retired the last 3 races.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I was confused because I was like, how did both of your cars break? It reminded me of when you put together a Lego set. Well, okay, sorry. When I put together a Lego set and you have all these extra bits. Is that what happened to Williams? Where they're just like,
probably.
I have all these things. And they're like, it's not important. Don't worry about it.
It's fine, yeah.
Did I put together their cars?
It seems like it, right?
Yeah, I felt bad for both of them because they're good drivers. And to have that happen is just it's unfortunate.
Yeah. And I know that this year isn't their main focus, and I know they're working a lot for next year, but it's got to be demoralizing for
absolutely
Albon and Carlos.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you're Alex Albon, Carlos didn't really have a lot of options.
No.
Alex Albon, committed early to staying there, and I'm sure he could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Although, because I talk about Valtteri all the time and I love Valtteri, I was mad on Valtteri's behalf that those 2 drivers have a seat and Valtteri doesn't. And he has more wins.
He does.
Than both of them combined.
Yeah. I mean, Valtteri has more wins than most drivers on the grid, right? He has more wins than anybody except for Lewis and Max.
Yeah.
So you can't.
What, Fernando?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, Fernando. Yeah. Sorry. Forget about the sly old fox there. But speaking of Valtteri, I'm seeing renewed.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe it. No. Mm-mm. I'm going to wait until he confirms it because.
Rumors being that he's going to Alpine.
Alpine? What?
That he is in talks.
Oh, I did read
Alpine about a mid-season driver change.
There's no way.
I don't think so either. I don't think that'll happen. I think he's holding out for Cadillac.
Also, if you're Valtteri, do you really want to do that?
No, I don't think so.
Alpine has proven to be quite volatile.
Oh, yeah.
In the recent years.
And with Flavio, it's only going to be more volatile.
Not successful.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm saying he's going to turn down a seat because I think he would have stayed in the shitty Sauber if he had been given the choice. But
yeah, he probably would have.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know.
It probably all depends on how his talks are going with Cadillac, right?
Yeah.
If there's truth to that rumor, I expect that it is. There's some truth behind it, but who knows how that's going.
I don't think Cadillac's going to be any good.
I mean, historically, a new team coming in is not good. So.
No. Mercedes is the exception.
Well, they weren't good their first years.
No, but they turned it around fast.
Yeah. But I mean, they struggled. I mean, they had some strong drivers, and they bought a winning team and then did poorly.
Yeah, but like, but didn't Braun, like, they started off really strong and then they trickled off towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, Jensen,
I know he won
by a slim margin.
Yeah, but it was because like they started off super dominant,
Yes.
and then it kind of just got clawed back. Sorry, I'm not saying, I'm thinking like a Haas. Like, I'm putting them on the same level as Haas.
Yeah.
Like, as harsh as that might be, I don't know.
I mean, no one knows.
I guess they probably are going to put more. I would hope they'd put more of a budget behind it.
I mean, they're going to have a significant budget, like, that's for sure. But if history has showed us anything, that a new team coming in is going to take several years to do anything. I mean, Haas was kind of the exception.
I know, they started off strong and that was it.
Exactly, right?
They're like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. So I don't see them being top contenders in the first couple of years. But then again, them coming in next year is the one chance that they have to set a level playing field, because with this new reg change,
anything could happen.
So no one knows.
Did you see when they were trying to pit Lewis for the second time? And
yes.
He was like, but like, you're the driver. Don't go in. Like, unless they're like, your car is going to explode, or you're like, your tire is about to blow. Like, don't go in. Just don't pit. Don't pit.
And the Ferrari strategists, I simply don't understand it. And their communication with Lewis. It is, and we've talked about it before. And like, I feel like you could talk about it for years, because there's been so many examples of it from so many drivers that they make these horrible calls.
Yeah.
And they piss their drivers off so much.
Well, I think...
And it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's interesting because I feel like they pissed off Carlos the least. Because Carlos kind of just did what he wanted.
I think Carlos was a lot... He came to them and said, this is what we're doing.
Or mid-race, he was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
After they observed it like 10 laps later.
Yes.
He would confirm that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Charles, I think, is too polite to... I think he started to like really start like pushing back on them.
Yeah.
But I think they both need to do more of that. And maybe like Fred just has to step in and say like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Because it had like... I can't remember what... Was it Jolien was talking about... I don't think it was Montreal. I think it was like another race where he was saying how they pitted Charles and like basically just were like, he's going to be at this position, like no better.
There's no chance. Yeah.
And it's like, that's what you did to Lewis.
That's exactly it. They made that pit and they confirmed that he will finish fourth, no better. There's no possible chance for it.
What I find interesting too is that like, so McLaren, I think their strategists are not good either. No, they're not.
Why do you say that?
Because I feel like, well, especially like Lando's, like I feel like there's like too much back and forth. Like and like the commentators have even talked about that, how like there's too much like of a discussion happening, being like, what do you think? And it's like, well, yeah, they're the one they're driving the car and they have a lot of feel to them, but like you have the numbers.
Yeah, but don't you think that would work well if Ferrari did the same thing and said, hey, Lewis, we're thinking this. What do you think? Instead of, Lewis, come in for a pit. And he's like, why would we do this?
He was more heated than why would we do this?
Yeah.
But anyway, like I don't think McLaren is super solid on their strategy.
Yeah,
I think they're better than Ferrari.
Well,
Yeah, I just don't think that they are super solid. And I think it's one of those things where, I don't know. I have no idea now.
Yeah.
Speaking of my love for Lewis, and this is jumping ahead to the British Grand Prix.
Okay.
But in the last 10 years, he has finished P1 4, 6, 7, 8 times.
It's a pretty strong record.
That math, not mathing. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I can count. He finished P2 once.
Yeah.
And P3 twice.
That adds up to more than 10.
Well, it's 2014 to 2024.
Okay.
I don't see any repeat numbers. So, I don't know. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
There you go.
11 years.
Last 11 years.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, His win last year was
unexpected. I hope, like, I am praying to every single God out there that he pulls off this miracle.
Yeah.
Because I think he needs it. I think Ferrari needs it. I think Fred needs it. They just need it.
If there's any track that Lewis can do it,
it's this one.
It's this one.
But did you see that they've moved up to second in the constructors?
Really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I guess. But, I mean...
because Kimi didn't get points.
Yeah, well, right. But that also goes to Red Bull's problem, right? Where you have Max driving this car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then you have...
the parading carousel of drivers.
Who are dead last. They are out of the points all the time. And if something happens to Max, like this weekend, you walk away with no points.
I would love to see, like, not to take anything away from Yuki, because I think he's a good driver, but I would like to see someone really good in that second car.
Yeah.
Just once. Yeah. Just to see what happens. Because it's like, is it the car and, like, only Max knows how to drive it? Or is it just, like, they're not actually as strong as we think they are?
And Max is just that good?
No, those are two separate things. So, like, is one... well, I guess...
because if the car is not as strong as we think it is, then Max is pulling more out of the car.
I didn't say not as good. I think it's more, like, temperamental.
Well, I mean, that's what Albon has said, right? In the past, he said it's extremely difficult to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, they've talked about how it's basically built for Max's driving style.
Mm-hmm.
Checo has said, it's designed, and then throughout the year, it gets more difficult to drive because it gets focused for Max's driving style.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, what do you do if the contract rumors are true and Max leaves? Now you are in last place.
I want, like, Adrian Newey to do a tell-all.
Right? Wouldn't that be something if he came out and was like, here's the deal.
Here's what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like, you can't really go on. I mean, Max getting knocked out. So the way I look at it was, obviously I've been very forthcoming with my feelings that, like, Lewis and Valtteri were, like, the dream team.
Yes.
Because if Lewis couldn't do it, Valtteri could.
Valtteri could, absolutely.
And I feel like that's what they need for Max is, like, and I think that's what they thought they had with Checo, and Checo excelled in, like, a few street circuits at the beginning of the year, and then that was it. Like, it would just fizzle. So, I mean, Max got hit by Kimi, like lap 1?
Yeah, turn 3.
Done. And then what? You just don't get points.
That's exactly it, right? You can't build a team around one driver.
Yeah.
Right?
Lance Stroll has proven that.
Exactly. Burn. But even more so than them, right? It gets...
yeah.
You can't have someone who's going to... like, you can't have first and last be your positions.
No.
And that seems to be where it is, right? And I just don't understand how they continue... because it's been years like that now, right? End of Checo's time, and then all of this year, and before that, before Checo, Albon, Gasly.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long time, and I think that their Max is 4 years winning, or their 3 years winning the constructor, hid enough of how
of the poor performance,
how much of a problem they're really in, and how much of a problem their car is now.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do.
No.
But if they lose Max, like... oof.
Yeah. Like that, right? I mean, if he gets frustrated and dips out...
which he seems like I was very... like, I think that it's... his response to Kimi is very telling, because, like, I've never seen that side of him.
No.
So, to me, that's someone who's just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Not about motor racing, but it's just like...
he's checked out of Red Bull, perhaps.
I think that to me, he's giving off that vibe. Like, he's just like, they're not delivering. They haven't given me like, he's complaining about the car all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is.
Like, all the time. And Yuki's not doing so great.
Well, no. I mean, It's too bad for all these other drivers that get put into the second Red Bull seat.
Yeah.
Because they're set up to fail. And then...
given no opportunity.
Exactly. And then they struggle, and they flounder, and then they're driven out.
What I think is interesting was, I mean, Checo, it was because of the sponsorship money that he was able to stick around as long as he did.
Yeah.
But because they gave him an exceptionally long time to figure it out.
Year and a half of poor performance.
Like, it was more than that, right? Like, it just dragged on forever. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because it seems like they have favored Liam Lawson over Yuki. So are they going to keep, like, if they don't want to keep Yuki in that seat, Isaac Hadjar, like, I feel like he's proven that he has a lot of talent.
Yes.
And he's consistently quite good.
Well, yeah, and I think Yuki's trouble comes now that they're moving away from Honda, and they're not going to have that next year. They're not, like, does he have the sponsorship backing and fan backing to keep that seat? And I don't think he does.
Yeah, like, outside of Japan, does he have a solid fan base?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would not consider myself a fan.
No, nor would I. Yeah. It would be interesting to see if the rumors are true and Max does, if he does leave Red Bull for next year and go somewhere else. I would think that if he is in talks with someone, I would bet that him having a lot of freedom within his time would probably be a pretty big point that he'd want to discuss.
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
I think he wants to do other racing series. Like, he wants to do Le Mans. He wants to do...
Yeah, there's no
cups.
way Toto Wolff's going to agree to that.
No.
I think if anyone's going to, it's going to be Lawrence Stroll.
Yeah.
Just out of, like, pure desperation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's interesting because I think Toto's going to keep Kimi because he sees him as, like, the rising star.
Yeah.
And George, I think, has demonstrated that he is very consistent. Like, he's delivering very consistently.
He's performing exceptionally well this year.
Yeah. But is it enough? Valtteri also did that.
Right. That's the thing. Is how many times did Valtteri win and then just get a 1-year contract?
Right.
Right? Years and years of 1-year contracts until he found his rising star.
Yeah.
Which...
Oh, Toto.
It's the only thing I don't like about Toto.
Yeah. I would say the same.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Toto fan, but his
treatment
of Valtteri.
Yeah.
I can't get behind.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lewis, I think, feels the same way.
Yeah. Well, as you said, he has said Valtteri was the best teammate he's ever had.
Yeah.
And they were the best pairing.
Yeah.
Right? He said that while partnered with George. I want to say in an interview with George.
George probably like, oh,
Lewis.
Lewis doesn't love me.
Well, I thought we were friends, mate.
No, George, you're not.
They're not. Yeah. One thing we should talk about is Yuki and Franco Colapinto just racing and getting in the way.
Wrecking Oscar's race.
Right? I know we touched on it in the beginning.
Oh my God.
But how is that? Like, how? I don't even think either of them got a penalty.
They did, no.
Oh, good.
Franco got a penalty for running him off the road.
Oh, no, you're right. He got a 5-second penalty, yes.
But it called into question, like, they're going to have to start penalizing this.
More.
Like, not moving aside. Like, because Liam Lawson did it to Lando?
I don't know, but yeah, Liam Lawson did it earlier this year.
I feel like he did it to a bunch of people.
He does always seem to be in the way.
Yeah, like, I understand. No, I don't understand. Because it's like, your race engineer should be on the radio, like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
And maybe they aren't because there's no serious consequences for it.
I think that's it, right?
So they're more concerned about moving from 16th to 15th.
Right? Like, what a waste. Just to ruin a potential fight for first.
Well, it was because...
Right? It's so bad. Like, it's just so terrible that they do that. And, it was upsetting to see.
Well, it's dangerous, too, because, like, there's blue flags. And so the race leader or like whoever is like, I have the opportunity to move through. They should be getting out of my way.
Yeah.
And then they're just all over the road in the way, running you off the road.
Yeah.
Like they were lucky that it happened where it did, because had it been gravel or something, he could have like screwed up his floor.
Oh yeah.
Or gotten stuck.
Exactly. Right. There could have been serious damage.
Yeah.
But
I think they're going to need to crack down on that, because it's just shitty.
But I think that again, it goes back to having proper stewards and having more clear.
Is this you saying that I need to run the FIA?
Yeah, we're gonna touch back on that every single week until you are elected.
My campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, I would read. I'm assuming it's a rule book.
Yeah, they do have a rule book. Yeah.
Cover to cover, I would memorize it all. I was an exceptional student, so I do believe I would be able to memorize it and also put it into practical practice.
Yeah.
They need somebody else.
Yeah.
I crack down on the shit.
Yeah, they need stewards who are going to make strong calls, stand by it, and be consistent.
Yeah. But that's what it's lacking right now. There's a complete lack of consistency, and I think sometimes they just don't care if they're getting a penalty, and it's like, well, then your penalty is not harsh enough.
Yeah.
If they don't care.
Yeah. You know what we should also do is give some kudos to Gabriel Bortoleto.
Yeah, he did well.
Buddy getting his first points in Formula One.
Yeah. So not to take anything away from him and Nico, but they obviously, and I know that they have said that they were doing nothing with that car until 2026. I think they bluffed everybody. Or I don't know, poker. That's not the right, calling their bluff?
Yeah.
Or they...
Not calling their bluff.
They
bluffed.
I don't know. They had a strong poker face, and they made us all think they were doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then they have obviously done something.
They must have come with some kind of an update.
But I think generally this year, that car has performed better
than last year.
Than all of last year. Last year, it was down a lap. And
well, not only that, but they would take a 30-second pit stop.
Oh yeah. Right? Yeah.
And anytime they were doing well,
they were D squad.
They're like, hold up, let's
bring them into the pits and we'll
yeah.
So they have figured out their pit strategy.
Yeah.
But they also they've done something to the car. It's a better car. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a great car,
but it's better than last year.
It's consistently performing way better. I don't know where they're in the constructors, but
I mean, they're not. I don't think they're in last, because I think Alpine's in last, but.
Alpine.
But yeah, Gabriel, and he got driver of the day.
He did, yeah.
That is a tip of the cap to him.
A tip of the cap.
A tip of the cap.
Are you going to go sell some newspapers on the corner too?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Okay, so Alpine is last.
Yeah.
Sauber is 9th, but they have 26 points and Alpine only has 11.
Oof.
Sauber is 2 points behind Aston Martin, which is only 1 point behind Haas.
Dang. So it's tight at the bottom.
It is tight at the bottom. Yeah. It's interesting because Williams has really dropped back. So you've got the first 4, which are I don't think anyone's going to catch them.
No.
And then Williams has 55. Good for them.
Yeah.
And if they could maybe follow the Lego instructions a little bit better, they might actually get some more points.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ferrari is 1 point ahead of Mercedes.
Oh, man.
So it's an exciting battle for second. No one is even close to McLaren, so.
No. Yeah. I wonder if it'll, and I guess they're so far ahead that it's not going to turn into it, but in 2007, where Lewis and Fernando were trading back and forth, and because of that because of McLaren not picking a number 1 driver and backing one driver, Kimi Räikkönen ended up winning the championship.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be too far ahead
from a constructor's standpoint,
to run into that. And I think even in the Drivers' Championship. No one else is going to be... Like, the two of them are going to trade wins. I would say only Charles would be close, but maybe George a little bit. But
yeah, like George coming in hot with all of his like third places out of nowhere. Like, he's just as surprised as the rest of us.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he's gonna see a checkered flag and be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. So George is actually catching up to Max. So Max has 155 and George has 146. So
yeah,
if he I'm just gonna go ahead and say if he finishes 4th or lower, he's not returning to Red Bull. Oof. Can you imagine the rage and hit like, no.
Yeah, he won't accept that.
No.
I'd like to see him drive for another car though. What can he do in a different car?
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see him drive for Aston Martin just from like a entertainment perspective.
Yeah.
I think he would probably I think Aston Martin. So I think Max, I might have misjudged him previously a little bit.
Is he nicer than you thought?
No, absolutely not. I think I thought that he just was so chasing the win because of his dad. But he does actually, because like this year he has really like branched out into like more of the sim racing and like other classes. And he's expressed his interest in other classes.
Yeah.
I thought he would focus on, if he was going to go somewhere, it'd be Aston Martin because it's like Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
The Honda. But I think now seeing what I've seen of him, that would be the easy way out. And I could see him going for a Mercedes.
Oh.
Because it's a totally different engine.
Yep.
It's like Toto's a very opinionated personality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he would see it as more of a challenge. And I think he would want to prove people wrong and be like, look, I did it in this car.
Yeah, it's not just
like
the car.
I just chose essentially the same thing.
Right.
Because not to say that Aston Martin's going to become the exact same thing, but...
A newly designed Honda.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there'll be strong influences.
Yeah, and like there's been rumors that he's going to go to Alpine. It's like, no.
Whoever is saying that is...
It's probably Flavio. Like, I don't believe it. Like,
yeah, he's calling up some...
He's going to go to Haas before he goes to Alpine.
He's calling up some French newspaper or some Italian newspaper being like, ooh, we've had conversations with Max.
Yeah. I don't know if he would care about Ferrari.
I don't think Ferrari's an option.
No, and
right.
I don't think for him, I just don't think he would care enough.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but I think he would see a better opportunity and like more of a challenge with Mercedes.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. I feel like we've been talking about it for months now.
Yeah. I mean, the rumors have been spiraling ever since.
Forever. Like years now.
Yeah. Well, not years. I mean, no one thought he was going to go anywhere.
Toto's been talking about it for years.
I mean, but Toto has always just dreamed of having Max, right? I think he sees Max's talent and he knows how good he is and he wants him.
Do we think a little bit though?
I think every team principal does. Just like if every team principal would take Lewis if they could.
Yeah. Do you think a little bit though, like Toto wants him so bad and then when he gets him, he's gonna be like, fuck, what did I do? Like, yeah. Kind of like when you get a puppy and you're like, this is gonna be the best thing ever. And then you bring it home and you're like, it's so cute. It's so great. It's amazing. Yeah. And you have all these dreams and then it starts biting you and it starts peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Not to say Max is going to do that, but I feel like
bite people would pee everywhere.
But I don't think like Max can't really be told what to do.
No.
So you kind of like get Max and have to adapt your style to Max.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an authority on this because this is how I am. Adaptable, not really.
No.
You get what you get.
Yep. And it works for some and not for others.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that like with some conviction in your voice. Like, do you feel like you've been personally victimized?
No, I'm saying.
Are you looking for a class action lawsuit?
I'm on the side of it works.
Yeah. Like I would say.
class action lawsuit. If you have been wrong, call 888-888-888.
But I feel like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to walk in. So where Lewis walked in and tried to like not overly step on the team.
Yeah.
Max isn't going to do that.
No, he won't do that.
Like Max is going to be like, fuck you. This is how I do things.
Yeah.
Adapt.
I think that's because Lewis is much more patient than Max is.
Absolutely.
Right? And Lewis said in his post-race after the Canadian Grand Prix, because there was, again, rumors spiraling about him wanting to leave Ferrari and stuff.
Yeah.
And he shut it down. He was like, no, I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah, it's a totally different car. It's everything. Like,
yeah. And he's looking for, he wants his official 8th world title. He wants it with Ferrari. Mm-hmm. He's going to stay there till he gets it.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where, not that I've ever driven a race car, because I haven't. I've driven karts. Mm-hmm. But I think of it this way, and it's the only thing I can actually like practically apply it to, is when you've been riding the same horse for so long, like you get to know how they feel.
Right.
And it's very much like muscle memory, right? Like, so everything you're doing is, a lot of it's just muscle memory. A lot of it is obviously like based on circumstances, but coupled with like muscle memory. It's like, I need to ask this way. I need to do this way. I feel like Lewis adapted. Like he said, he's like only ever driven a Mercedes engine.
Yeah.
So now he's been thrown into something else completely different. And he has to kind of like, he has all of the tools. It's just a matter of like, you're retraining the brain to not always respond in the way that like your body is wanting to respond in. And that takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. And I think people who thought, I mean, I hoped he was just going to get in a Ferrari and win. But especially when he was talking about how like everything is like backwards.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot too.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, you can't just expect that he's just going to hop in the car and it's going to be magic. So, and I think that car isn't like, Charles is struggling in that car. Like Charles not having
the season like he has. Yes, you're right.
So it's not like Charles is like winning everything and having this like exceptional season. So it's like you're not even getting like the good Ferrari.
Right.
You're getting like
yeah.
I don't know, like the off-brand Ferrari.
And it's not that they're going slowly. It's just that McLaren has taken such a leap forward that they simply have not caught up with.
But the Ferrari is inconsistent, right? Yes. Like, so we've seen more consistent Ferraris in the past, and this one just seems like, I don't want to say it's like they're in second in the constructors by accident, because it's obviously not an accident, but also Mercedes is having consistency problems, right? And reliability problems. So that's why like those two are as close as they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like how many races has it been now that Mercedes has only had one car finish?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that it's been a weird season so far.
Yeah, it is. Because McLaren's dominance aside, you're seeing strange things happening from the other constructors.
But also McLaren has had like weird moments too, right? Where they've like run away in certain tracks and then just like won by 2 seconds, which is not a lot.
Right.
And they like, I feel like they've had some, I mean, in Canada, they didn't even podium.
He did not podium. Oscar finished 4th.
Yeah. So like, but their car wasn't like not firing there.
Right. It's
I'm not
the opposite of the Mercedes, right? It doesn't like the cold.
It wasn't cold. It was hot.
Maybe cold for.
It likes the desert. I'm just saying, like it's been an interesting year because I feel like they've all had their challenges.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been like, yes, McLaren has been more dominant, but they haven't been like Red Bull in previous seasons. And I feel like but like everybody collectively has started to talk about McLaren like they're the Red Bull. And it's like, no, this isn't the Max is 30 seconds ahead and you don't even see him the entire race.
Yeah.
Like it's
not 2023 where he wins almost essentially every race.
Yeah.
And
which is good. I enjoy this more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's like an element of unknown. Yeah. You don't really know. Even the McLaren's can like qualify 1-2, and it doesn't mean that they're going to finish 1-2.
No.
Like it's very much like a guessing game.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. It is.
Silverstone, one of my favorite races.
It's a good one.
I'd like to go to that one day.
Yeah.
I think if you dressed appropriately, brought your rain jacket, it'd be a good one.
I agree.
Did you see that crazy crash in Formula 2?
The one where
it like rolled over top?
Yeah.
That was intense.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about the Halo a million times.
Chuck another one up for the Halo, though.
But like that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I wonder now I'm wondering if it wasn't actually in slow motion. It didn't seem like it was like that rapid, but it might have been slowed down a lot. But like it seemed like it happened slowly.
Yeah. Everybody walked away.
Yeah. So lucky. Which is crazy because it's like, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
That's how far safety standards have come.
Yeah.
And they just continue to evolve. And I hope like if I was FIA president, I would be very serious about security reviews. And so anytime crashes like this happened, why? How can we improve it?
Yeah. I feel like we need to set up a website for your campaign.
Karen for president.
Really.
I wonder what the qualifications are.
I don't know. But you need to get elected by like the various national like sporting groups. So it's not like F1 elects the FIA president. It's like all of the national from around the world.
So they'd be like, who is this person?
They might be like, she has
good ideas.
Yeah. I think she's a fresh face in the world of motorsport and comes with good ideas.
I'm going to look into it.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Now, are you just pushing this because you think it's funny, or do you actually think I could be good?
You have my full support.
No, but is it from like a ha-ha perspective? Like, joke's on you, delusional.
I know how smart you are and your capabilities, so I have no doubt that you would be highly successful in the role.
It's interesting because, and I don't think I've told you this before, I contemplated becoming a racing steward, like horse racing, which is basically a rule enforcer. So like...
You've always wanted to be a narc.
No, you know what it is? Like, I've just seen so many bad calls.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. Not to say like I would be perfect, but I think that often... I don't think, especially in F1, I don't think every team is treated equally with their punishments. And I don't think every driver is treated equally. And that pisses me off.
Yeah. And I mean, 2021 still just burns with
I wasn't even going to bring that up.
Fire of 1,000 suns.
Yeah, I was not going to bring that up, but you did. And it's upsetting.
Yeah. I watched a clip of it again recently, and it enraged me all over again.
Well, I mean, he's gone into hiding basically, so
yeah,
good. I think it just proves that you can't have someone who's like spineless in that role.
Yes, you need a very strong person.
Who
Absolutely.
Just like Max would excel in that role. Because he would be like, fuck you, don't care. This is what it is. Don't care. I don't care if we're friends. This is what, and that's the energy you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you need that, like, big fuck you energy.
Yeah.
And I think you would see very different races play out. Not to say people wouldn't take calculated risks, but I think that you would see, I think a lot of what we complain about in motorsport would fix itself with properly applied penalties.
Okay.
I sound like I like rules too much. But I think in the absence of like effectively applying them, it's frustrating for a lot of people.
Yeah, the gray area, I think is too big.
But I don't think it needs to be a gray area. I think a lot of the time it's very black and white, and they make it gray, and it's like, it doesn't need to be gray. You could absolutely make a proper decision on this. You just don't want to. And I think they're too concerned about being liked, which I'm not. So I'm going to make like the Elle Woods video essay.
Yeah.
For this.
It would get all the votes.
I just think that it would be such a shame if, is it like Ben Suleman?
Yep.
If he just stayed in that role. Nobody likes him.
No. And he's been pretty controversial.
Yeah, and it's like not like nobody likes him because of the reason they wouldn't like me.
Which is what?
I would just be difficult. Like I would apply things.
Oh yeah, you'd have set rules, and then you wouldn't care what people think.
I would rule with an iron fist.
Yes.
And like.
Rule with an iron fist.
And these people would know. There would be no calling. Like Toto wouldn't be like, Gary,
please, that's still not right.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, no, it was so right, because I'd whip out the rule book and be like, here it is, Toto, right here.
Yeah.
I know that like
Christian Horner would be real pissed.
Christian Horner would absolutely hate me, but feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
But because I know how to be like an objective person, I would be able to like set aside my dislike for Christian and the Red Bull family.
Yeah.
And apply that.
They might benefit from it at sometimes.
They probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
Not always.
No.
Max would have to fix a few things. Unfortunately, at this moment, he'd be on the receiving end of a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, Max didn't get a penalty this race. So
he didn't really have a chance to.
No, but his sort of tightrope that he was walking this month is
one less.
So he he's a little bit safe. So will we see very aggressive Max in Silverstone?
I don't know. It's going to be an interesting race. I think the Mercedes will do well. Did you see just even like qualifying? It's just crazy like how little there's like no difference basically from first to 20th.
Yeah, it's tight.
It's so tight, and it's funny because like we talk about like the McLaren's dominance, and it's like, but they're barely out qualifying.
Yeah. Some
of these people, like the margins are so tiny that it just makes it so much more exciting because it's like anything could happen.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not like K-Mag getting pole in this, it was a sprint, right?
Yeah, it was a sprint.
Because it was like a weather problem. Like I feel like truly anything could happen and anybody could end up on pole.
Well, when it's that tight, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely conceivable that any one of them could.
Yeah.
You just need to have like a bad lap. It was interesting because, and I missed it. They were talking, were they talking about Oscar being upset? And I was like, Oscar getting upset doesn't sound like a thing.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen him upset. I mean, maybe he's behind closed doors. But anyway, I don't know. I do not know. No. Want to chat about anything else?
Apparently there's a surge in F1 popularity among young females.
Why?
A lot of people are attributing it to Drive to Survive, the F1 movie, and essentially influencers. But so-called paddock princesses are becoming a big thing.
So interesting. Okay. I have thoughts.
As a number, they've increased 50% since 2018.
So I haven't seen the F1 movie yet.
No.
And from what I've read, I'm not sure I'm going to like it because it sounds like it's a lot of like the Drive to Survive, like the parts of Drive to Survive that I don't like.
Okay.
Where it kind of like jumps around a bit and there's a lot of inconsistencies. So I feel like one of the other things I would really excel at is like a continuity person on a movie or TV shows. Okay. Like I would spot all of the wrong things.
You spot a lot of typos and a lot of errors.
Like everything where it's like their hair is different. They're like, I would notice everything. It sounds like they didn't focus on that enough on the F1 movie, which is disappointing. So I feel like I'm going into it with the thought of like, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. I'm thinking it'll be just an entertaining couple of hours, like Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I think like that's what I've tried to reconcile in my brain, is that like often horse movies are like that, where it's like it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
You can't like pick it apart because
Exactly.
it's not going to pass the test.
I think that's the thing, is it would frustrate us too much if you're trying to pick apart all the little things. Be like, that doesn't exist. That doesn't happen. It's not like that.
Yeah.
You have to accept, it's not going to be like that. Like, knowing there will be a lot of stuff that isn't realistic, but I mean, it's a movie.
No, I know. Yeah. It was just reminding me of like the things that I don't like about Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't like it, because like we watch it.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. But I guess if I was editing Drive to Survive, it would be very different.
Yeah.
Because I think the way that they jump around, for people that actually watch the season, like not the season of Drive to Survive, like the F1 season that has happened already, it's done and passed. It's confusing a little bit.
But I think also we're looking for things that you don't see in the race, the post-race interviews, all that coverage, right? We're looking for a deeper look at a specific story.
That's what I like about that. Yeah.
What happened behind the closed door here that we're not privy to.
It's like behind the scenes
and
stuff.
like we're basing it off of a tweet or an Instagram post from somebody.
Yeah.
Right. Like
the Carlos stuff where he stood up James Vowles. Yeah. Yeah. Like that kind of stuff. That. Yeah. Like I do like that, but I would say, so like if they just didn't even show the racing, I'd be okay with that. Because like the racing is like they're blending all of these different races together.
Yes.
And I find that that's just weird.
And they clip to make it fit a weird storyline.
Yeah.
And they obviously try to make a villain, and then they're like, okay, well, he's mad here, but this is a different race.
And then they show like the same race over and over again.
Yeah.
But like just from like a different team's perspective. I don't know. Not to hate on it, because there's definitely elements that I do enjoy, but there's parts where I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have heard that it's really good. And if you're not an F1 fan, it's even better because you're just like, wow, this is really cool.
Well, we'll see when it comes on
Apple
TV.
To sound totally like Max.
Like Max. I haven't
it's
seen
funny
it pop up yet.
Because I was looking at Apple TV today and there was a preview for it. And I was like, oh, is it available? No, it was not. It's just the preview. And I was like, well, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to a movie theater. I'm going to wait until this can come. Because I feel like it's probably long too.
I think it's like 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I will need to take breaks.
Yeah.
My attention span can't do that.
Can't handle that much.
No, definitely not. Like trapped in a movie theater for that length of time would be brutal for me.
Anything else?
So when's the next race? I know it's Silverstone. Soon, far away. Who can say?
July 6th.
Is that
next weekend?
Oh, okay. We will talk to you next week after Silverstone. The British. I was going to say the English Grand Prix.
The English.
Adios. Motorsport Podcast is a Vorbeck Media production. Follow us on Instagram at Motorsport Pod. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or our YouTube page, Motorsport Pod. Bye.